I want to show you about the landscaping and how easy it is to do. I've mixed up a big container full of my glue, which I had said before is a mixture of half carpenter's wood glue and half water. It's about a 50-50 mix or a 60-40, you know, it depends on how thin I want to make it. And then I put a little bit of soap in it, dishwashing soap, and again, like I said before, that takes the surface tension off of the water and allows whatever I'm going to put on here to soak right in. So basically, I'm going to just take an old paintbrush, because trust me, this is going to get ruined by the time I'm done here. And I start painting this on. Now it's going to soak in to the old landscaping because of that soap mixture that I added in there. And what's going to happen here first is I'm going to lay the groundwork of grass, and then after I get that done, after I get a big chunk of grass done, I'm going to go back over the whole thing and add weeds, and add some bushes, add some trees, dirt, because grass is never always perfectly green, at least where we live. All right, now that's a pretty good sized section. Now I want to be careful with my glue pot, because last year I spilled it, and that was pretty much a fiasco. So I'm going to use, for this greenery, I'm going to use the Scenic Express Summer Lawn Blend, which is a very nice blend of grass. A little spot I'm going to touch up a little bit. And sprinkle this on. It just gets sprinkled on. Now to get underneath trees, and to get into the harder to get to places, I have a spoon, and I just get a little bit on the spoon and sprinkle with the spoon. Now after this is all done, I'm also going to take a vacuum cleaner and go back over everything, like I did on the roof of Dutch Wonderland, and pull off anything that's not going to stick. Because all that's going to do in the future is make possibly a mess for if I had to walk on a section. It's just going to make a mess. So there's the basics. There's the basic the groundwork for the ground. Now, what I'm going to do later, again, like I said, is I'm going to go down through and I'll take my glue and I'm just going to add a couple of pieces of ground foam, or get a section that will use even something a little coarser, and just make little piles like this, like it's a little flower garden. Okay. Now the way to make sure it's going to stick is just throw some glue on it. Sometimes it's very hard to get this out of here. Now, before this is done, I'm going to go over that, and I'm going to put more there. I'll put some flowers in here. I have little plantings that I can put in here, some other colors, because you don't want it to be all the same color. Okay, I'm back here at this Guernsey farm that I started yesterday up in this one section, and I've already grassed a lot of it. You can see up in here where I've really detailed this bank using just all kinds of different ground foams and different textures, because I love the thickness. I like to have the 3D effect of weeds and of trash. There's a little rock up here. And came down through here with my grass, and when I got to the house here, I noticed this porch. And the porch, this is actually a little stone area that my dad built years ago. And what that was is actually a piece of vinyl tile. And he cut it to fit in here, and it's been on there since 1961. Well, after 50 years, I guess these people are due for a fix-up since they're getting the landscaping. Let's give them a little bit of hardscaping also. So what I did was, I made a template of the area with a piece of cardboard. First, I took the old piece, laid it down here, cut it out so it would fit in here. And I had already dug all this out because this is kind of where I wanted my hardscape to be. I laid this on here, took my finger and scored this so I knew how far to make it. So then I went over into the hobby shop and I looked around for a while and I grabbed a piece of this mosaic tile paper by a company called K&P Brick and Building. It's just a nice brick mosaic finish. So I took a compass and made an arc, have this all cut out. Then I glued it to a piece of cardboard so it'd be a little bit stiffer. I just used the standard spray adhesive. This is an Elmer's spray adhesive. Cut the cardboard out, and now I got my hardscape. So what's going to happen is the hardscape porch is going to just lay right in here. Then I'm going to put a little picnic table. I got a little grill to set here, and then I'll finish this all in here with some grass. The whole way down around here, I'll edge this, and I'm going to put some plantings along here also, like I have here. And if you notice how dark this all is, I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes on how to get some plantings in there and what I use for planting. Okay, I'm going to landscape around here, around my little rock. I cut this out yesterday, and then I put my coffee grounds in here, and that's exactly what this dark brown is, and that's my mulch. I started collecting coffee grounds last year, and I've got bin upon bin upon bin of different colors of coffee grounds because each coffee manufacturer makes different colors. So I've got light brown, dark brown, and I keep all this stuff. As a matter of fact, you can see that I really get into a lot of different landscaping materials. These come from a lot of these items are actually from a place called the Craft Warehouse up in Blue Ball, Pennsylvania. And I go in there, and I'm probably one of the few males that walk around the area, and I'm constantly looking for small flowers, small things that I can use as plantings on the layout. And then I'll take them and I'll cut them apart because these are real big long pieces that are all put together to make artificial flower arrangements. This first I get the correct size bit, and I want to use these. I made these last year. These are little bushes that I made. These came on a big, about a foot square pad. And there were thousands of these little guys. And I cut them all off. I actually took these and put a nail down through them. Dipped them in landscaping glue, the kind that comes from Woodland Scenics. They're scenic glue because it's a plastic type glue that sticks to plastic. I dipped it in. And then I took my grasses, different colors of grasses, and sprinkled on, and put those on a piece of wood. And I had a couple of thousand of them actually. After some of them dried, I took them again and dipped the tips in to Scenic Express, or put them back into the same glue, and then tip these with the Scenic Express flowers so it looks like a bush with flowers on the end. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just put a couple of these in here. Very simple matter. Drilling a hole. Getting a little glue on the end, doesn't have to be a lot. And gluing him in. So now if I want to say that the farm lady likes red, I'll put a couple of red ones in. And as you can see, hooray for cordless drills. If they weren't cordless, I'd have a cord and I'd have that everywhere. That cord would be just a mess. So anyway, there's a couple of little, small bushes. Now I'm going to also take these, which again are on a big long stick. And all I'm going to do is get them hole. I also go to Michael's and AC Moore, and I'm constantly going through their dried flower arrangements. So there's a little white flower. I don't know what kind of a flower it is. It's just a flower. Now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to do the same basic idea of this by just putting some glue down. I had to mix a new batch of glue because I used all my glue yesterday. Then I'm going to take my nice dry coffee grounds. Sprinkle them. And I'm going to let that sit. I'll let that sit until tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll vacuum up what didn't get stuck, and it looks like mulch. And then I'll be able to put a few little bushes, a few little plantings to make it look like a nice little landscaped area. The same thing with here. I'm going to add some more here of taller things here behind the sunflowers.